What's up, people? We're in Aspen, Colorado. This is the Motherlode Tournament along with Randy Stoklis. I am Jason DeBias, and we're going to join you in center court before the second set. We got the youngsters against the youngsters. Tell me about the Hawaiians.
Well, they're the high school team, Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles, come in here and playing. I have to say, really an interesting game. The first set went 21-18 to the college players of Maddie Harris and Maddie Bergdahl. It was a seesaw game back and forth. Getting to the youngsters from basically Honolulu, Hawaii, Ingrid Rolles and Ruby Cochrane. And excuse me if I just gathered you guys just to Honolulu, because I know there's a lot of places in Hawaii, and our hearts go out to the people in Maui.
Amen.
But the crazy thing that I've just learned is Ingrid Rolles, Ruby Rolles, which is playing in the senior, that their mother, Chuck Rolles, is the grandfather, which is Chuck's Steakhouse, the original Chuck's Steakhouse. So amazing to go and understand how many people that have been in this sport for so long, that have so many ties in so many different ways. And anybody knows about Chuck's Steakhouse, it was a place that everybody went early in the 70s and 80s, and a crazy places. Still one available in Santa Barbara that I know of when we go occasionally up there. So kind of fun to see the granddaughter out here playing and representing from Hawaii.
Yeah, as we go to the camera here, Rolls is the one in green, and her partner is the one with the blue, purplish top and the black shorts. And the girls identically in white are Maddie and Maddie. Played at San Diego Mesa, I believe, beach volleyball.
You got it.
We're in the second set. They'd won the first one. There's the up and down set. Rolls. Wow, cross court and just out of bounds, huh? Wow.
I would have not hit. I mean, not
Yeah,
the
me too.
hit, but the line call, because that was a lot closer than it was. But I love the pass. I love the set. Unfortunately, just went out just a little wide. They go down 1-0. Let's see how much fight the high schoolers have. Nice pass to the middle.
There's a set out of the middle. There's the cut, and wow, Bergdahl with a great dig. Another good dig. Here's the payoff. No free ball opportunity. Looking to get on the board. The youngsters. Rolls. Got it.
Very, very smart play by Ingrid. And I love the maturity of this team, because normally a lot of teams would just pop that ball up on one and say, hey, Ruby, go and put that ball away. But they go 1, 2, 3, and they get the side out for an early
sticks on the board.
1-1.
Sticks on the board, rolls the serve. Sun's coming out a little bit. Harris with the pass. Okay. Drifter set out of the middle, and I'm not sure what she was trying to do on that, but the net result is the same. Par for the course is a pretty good block. Now the score is 2-1. Rolls the serve. Okay, there's a serve. We're back at 2-2. Tie score.
Going to be very interesting to see how this whole game plays out with the high school against the college players. And unfortunately, the high schoolers lose the first game 21-18. See what kind of fight they have and what kind of ball control and mental aspect of the game to stay in right now.
Cochrane with the shorty. That's Doug. Transition. Wow, good transition play. That seemed like it was in slow motion for like a half second, and then back to normal speed. And I got to tell you, and we'll talk more as far as the transition of women's beach volleyball. We'll maybe talk about that at the technical timeout. But for now, we got some action to call. Harris with a pretty good pass. With a pretty good serve. That ball's out of bounds, and I guess there's no replay if it's out.
You say Maddie Harris serving that last ball. Beautiful serve to the middle of the court, to the right sider, to her left hand. When you pass that ball like that, you're looking straight down. You don't see the whole court. I love that serve.
Oh.
And there's another great little trickle serve to go now.
Yeah, speaking of loving that serve, huh? So, again, luck is the residue of design. It's just hard work, hits the tape, and you're going to get that bounce. Harris to serve. And they had a come into Jesus moment during one of their timeouts. So I also like to talk about
We will.
the serve down the line, row position 4. Cochrane, wow, it looked like it hit half of her forearm, half of her heel, and with that ball, with this Mikasa, left balloon, and then in this altitude, Randy, sails out of bounds.
And again, at their age, they're going to learn it and absorb it very quickly. It was a nice pass set hit, but unfortunately a little long, and they go back to Ruby on the left side. Ruby goes up and over the block, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I'm ready to go to Hawaii to coach this team right now.
Yeah, why not? Good things happen when you coach.
Well,
I think the last time you touched the team, it was Hagen Smith and Robbie Page.
Yeah.
Got them into the main draw in Manhattan Beach Open.
Yeah, I didn't even have that much time with them, and unfortunately you need to go and work on that on the side, not during the game.
A little bit of a J-hook pass, and we have some clean laundry on the court. And there's a replay. Score is 3-6.
It's always interesting on a replay. What do? Do they come back to the same serve, or is it something different? Or they think then it's pretty much the same serve. Here's going to be an opportunity for the youngsters. Oh, good hit from the right side.
What a nice swing. Cochrane on the swing. And now it's 7-3. We got some really good games going on here. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was going to be Maddie Harris on the swing, putting that ball away. Good swing by her, and now there's a tough serve by Bergdahl.
Man. There's a nice wrist away and just enough to chip off the block, and now it's 4-7, stopping the momentum for a little bit. And Rolles to serve. You're right. I mean, these girls are 15. The future looks bright. Wow.
It's even brighter there with an ace right down the line to go and get back within 2. Now down by 2. 5-7, and you know that how important all of those little serves are, and all those points that are kind of mistakes or positive touches. And let's see if she can pull in another one off.
Same position, different results, and that's a nice turn, but just out of bounds. And keeping the mood light is Maddie and Maddie. It's a ball that she took on too, but it's one of those things I have no problem with it. I mean, you have a problem with it going out, of course, but it's a nice aggressive move. Short serve. Oh, trying to go on 2 there, and now it's 7-7 and 4 unanswered points scored by the younger youngsters.
And that's how it all started off, with the 8 serve down the line, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Points are always scored in bunches, and let's see if they can keep the momentum on their side.
We're at 7 apiece. Rolls the serve. Pretty good pass. Harris, line over, covered, free ball opportunity, and decide to go on 1. A little nervous energy there. Will they make her pay? Bergdahl says yes.
Unfortunately, Ruby's going to go and understand that she let the girl out of the cat box, and the cat box being that small little area where she was trapped at the net. She would have been a better blocker than a defender at that and put a lot more pressure if she stayed at the net. I think she blocked that first ball in that rally, and then she felt like she had to get back to play defense with her partner. Unfortunately, didn't go in her favor.
Harris to serve. 8-7. Okay pass by Cochrane. Up and down set. Cochrane. Got it. And we're at 8 apiece. Again, we're in the second set. So for those of you that joined us, thank you for having me in your living room. Thank you for having me and us in your life. I'm with Randy Stokely. I'm Jason DeBillius, and this is the Motherlode 2023 50th anniversary.
And the sun's coming out, peeking out. Ruby now back to serve. Cochrane. See if she goes out and loves the ball off the tape.
Free ball opportunity, or down ball opportunity. Transition, tight set, and wow, she just waited to pull her trigger. Didn't jump and pull it right away. She waited for the block to make her move, Randy. Pretty good aggressive move by the youngsters.
Well, what I liked about the aggressive move is she got the giddy up after that ball got set close to the net, and she got it before the blocker could, and chopped it in a cut shot to go up by 1, now 9-8.
You had me at giddy up, Randy. Up and down set. Wow, Harris gets dug. She knew she had to go, and wow, way to go on that shorty. Great positioning, great high IQ play by. It's weird calling.
McKeely.
It's weird calling any of these girls the
Well,
youngsters.
listen, McKeely rolls at the net. She touched that ball on the block, but a great dig by Ruby. And then, sure enough, nobody knows that it was touched. She throws it over on 3 and scores on the point. Now goes up by 2. Big point in this game, 10-8.
Pretty good pass, and I do like the middle set, but that gets dug and nobody up, and surprise, surprise, that's what happens.
And Ruby, very calm and collectly, stays on that left side, gobbles it right up, gets a good set to the outside, and just absolutely pounds it. We don't know exactly what these ages are. You commented that they were 15 years of age. They're 15. Boy, they've got a lot of great volleyball ahead of their lives.
Yeah, cut off a little bit of the momentum. They went on a very nice run. I believe it was I believe it was a 8-2 run. They were down like 2-7, and then just kind of took off.
As Maddie Bergdahl now back to serve.
Bergdahl to serve. They go to Cochrane. Back set for Cochrane. She seems to like that, but you know who likes that more? The overpass. And Maddie finishing it off as we go to the technical timeout. Now, Randy, in the first set, which the crowd has missed, it's 15 up, and these two, Maddie and Maddie, are in their timeout, and she stresses the importance as we go to our cam here. She stresses the importance of not making me feel bad about myself if a play goes wrong. She just said, I need your positive energy. I don't need you to be down on me or whatever. And she said, because I freak out or whatever. And I've never seen two girls do that during a timeout, and I've never seen, that's something that happens maybe after the match or after the day.
And sometimes it never happens at all. So that was very unique to go and see them communicate and really spill their guts out to go and tell them what she really needs and what she wants to hear. And hey, listen, if it needs to be that way, well, then make it happen. Bring up your partner, make her better. And if that's going to go that way, and it feels like it is, they're going to be a better team.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, mind you, that was 15 up, and she probably felt it was important enough to bring up at that time, and you can't mess with the result. They won as a result, 21-18.
It is, but at that same time, you can see a lot of times that a partner will not take that positively, and they'll take it negatively and just look at your partner and go, hey, listen, that's up to you to go and figure all this out, and it's for you to go and be a better player and stop with the little whining of basically what I have to bring and what it's negative or what's positive. But they communicated it very well, and they've been positive since.
Yep. Hey, we're back in the match. It's 10-11. And there's an up and down shot that's pretty easy to dig. And transition splits the uprights for the extra point. Went off of half of goal post, half stick.
Going to tie that up at 11-all.
Nice. You're right. Sticks on the board. No, I will not say French fries to anybody listening. I'm not going to do that. Going back to position 4. Okay pass by Cochrane. Up and down set. Cochrane. Wow. Go get your bulletproof vest. And Randy, I think pursuant to what you said before, man, we're kind of old school guys. And I think we don't appreciate the importance of women's volleyball and like that sisterhood thing. With men, it's easier. We just kick each other in the butt, follow the leader and go,
No doubt. No doubt.
Go ahead.
As the youngsters get back to serve, up now 12-11. There's a tied up 12-all. Good swing from the left side by the Maddie team. But that was Maddie Harris taking a good swing right there. 12-all.
Harris to serve. And you can see the energy feeding off each other, even on the misses. They're like, hey, so good. Next play, It goes a long way with some people. I'm not saying it works for everybody, right? You're not going to see that ball's out of bounds. You're not going to see a whole lot of positive reinforcement in Eastern Europe, the way they coach the girls there.
Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a pressured serve down the line. Really nice pass by Ruby Cochrane. McKeely Rolles, go and set your partner when she passes a good ball like that.
I agree.
If they go after again now to the middle of the court. Nice
Wow.
chop.
Now, you saw the way she was set up on her defense. Is that somewhere where you just rather have her be more on one side instead of the middle?
Well, you got to start off cross court, I always feel, because subconsciously you're taking that away. When you see a player in that area, the first thought is, I'm not going to hit it to her. So start that way. If you kind of go to an I formation, and hide behind the block, sometimes it's an open field for a hitter because they feel like they can do anything. So begin with to take away their strengths, and usually the strength is a cross-court hit as Bergdahl gets back to serve.
Wow. And very similar fashion, goes zone 4 to Cochrane. Cochrane gets the use.
Love that attacking ability from a youngster about 15 years of age. Now, I got to tell you that Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles, if anybody's watching this as college coaches, well, they must be kind of chomping at the bit to try to get to them. And I don't know, maybe they were already committed and maybe they're already going to places, but they sure are quality
and
players.
We got a ball on court.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think I wanted to talk a little bit after the match during that about the evolution turned into a revolution of women's beach volleyball. I think when it turned into an NCAA sport, then all bets were on. Nice back set, and Maddie Bergdahl appreciating that back set from Harris, the other Maddie.
Yeah, Bergdahl putting a lot of pace on that ball, coming around from the right side to the left side and attacking. When you're off the net, off balance, and you put a little bit more pace, it all of a sudden gobbles up the defender. And she scored on that play as they attack now Ruby from the left side.
Cochrane getting a lot of activity on serve receive. That ball trickles into the net. We got 15 apiece in the second set, guys. I guess I like the strategy if they're getting points against Cochrane. I like that they're serving the same location, which is creating some constant pressure where the pass doesn't have to be. Sorry. Whoops. There was a ball on court or not. In very similar fashion, zone 4 to Maddie Harris. Randy, this game has become Maddie Harris versus Cochrane.
Well, there's a couple digs that they've had opportunities to score in terms of the youngsters going and scoring, but they're still right in the game, and they're down 1-0, so must-win situation. And then Ruby lets that ball go up and over her corner, hits that back of the great serve by Maddie Bergdahl for
wow. Yeah, that's 17-15.
A 2-point advantage, which is a big, big play right now.
Bergdahl with the serve. Expect her to go back to zone 4. She does. J-hook pass. Recovered. Cochrane. Doug looking for 18. Maddie gets blocked. A much-needed block by the youngsters. It's so weird saying youngsters when you got all 4 of them being young.
Ruby Cochrane stays at the net and does what she does best. She's gotten a number of blocks this game, but what a huge block at a huge time in this match. Now the girls got to make something happen as Ingrid Rolles gets back to serve.
Ingrid Rolles. Position 4 again. And Harris gets blocked on that one. And now it's 17 apiece. Again, 2 evenly matched teams on a who's going to blink situation.
It's funny, Ruby Cochrane, she's a little not, she doesn't spring out of the ground, out of the sand really aggressively, but she's got long arms and she shuts that thing down for another big block as they go after another point opportunity. Here's McKeely from the left side. See if she can score again, and
I think she does for the switch.
17. Momentum's on their side. So now it's kind of nervous time, Jason, because at that side switch, like I said so many times, it's called new real estate. Get that ball in the court. Serve it tough, but both teams are going to take a little bit of that time on that side switch right now, and then maybe possibly
it's actual timeout. Yep. There it is. Let's see if I can do my roaming camera. Oh, no. Actually, let's bunker up here because I wanted to say from 2016, when it became an NCAA sport, probably possibly 2014, all of the club sizes have tripled and it became this business. So what happened was all of these girls entering the college became the next generation of professional players. And then in 2019, they sent a message to their predecessors telling them your time's up. So if you're April Ross, you're Alex Kleiman, you're good because you're taking care of your business. But if you're taking days off, or if you're doing more Instagram videos of you working out than working out, your time's up. And that those girls really sent that message from 2019 up.
Well, since the whole program has developed, the amount of people that play the game is just unbelievable, and it's growing each and every year. But the greatest thing about the aspect of our programs in the United States, including the game being played in college for the women, is that they are be able to move on to the national team, represent the United States in all different types of levels. And sure enough, the gold medal has been coming our way quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, and I harp on 2019 because I just remember Hermosa Beach, California. I remember Chrissy Jones and Zana Munoz being the 43rd seed in the qualifier, making it to the semifinals. The Norris twins, 17 years old, making the main draw. Megan Kraft, Maple, 16 and 15 years old, making the quarterfinals.
Let me
You know,
let me say this too. With all those opportunities, when all of a sudden you get recruited by USC, Dane Blanton, the parents are kind of stoked,
yes.
that they're being going to a school like that, and not only that school, all the schools that now are participating.
Well, Dane's
in
a
D1,
three-time champ.
D2.
Yeah, he's a three-time champ. He got the keys to the truck handed to him by Anna Corriere and has produced since. We're back from our timeout. They go back to this time they go to Bergdahl. Little redirect on that. I thought there might have been a net violation on that. So all's well that ends okay because I thought that was on the offensive series.
Excellent play at the net by Ruby Cochrane, blocking now 3 balls in a row to go and get her team up 19-17 in the driver's seat. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can hold on.
They go back to zone 4. They go back to the other Maddie. Oh, and in similar fashion, you remember the option that went long earlier in the game. Same option, same technique, same results, out of bounds. And now we're at set point opportunity number 1.
And now let's see how the college team of Maddie Harris and Maddie Bergdahl handled this. They're going to side out this first play, and here's the opportunity, and it goes. Now we're going to a third. So let's see exactly how it all plays out here, because 1 game to 15 is going to decide the team moving on in the contenders bracket right now, as they're doing a Rochambeau to go and figure out who's receiving, who's serving. At that point, Jason, let's talk about that Rochambeau or a flip of a coin. What do you normally take, or what would you normally take? There's options here.
I mean, my first option, if I'm on the beach, is going to be side, right? If it's an afternoon game, you know, we're in the South Bay, you got that left to right thing. I guess from north to south, I'm almost always going to pick side. And then the second choice is receive, right? Because no one has the serve just space to make my life a living hell. Then, of course, right, very much like indoor, right? Side out is automatic if you're at that high level.
Okay.
So depending on the high level, the higher the level you play, the more you're going to run and receive.
Okay, so you take the side.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say I want to receive.
Okay. Yep.
So you're serving from the good side.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the opportunity to score the first point.
Ah, got it. Yep.
And so, there's a fine line about, all of those makeups, and there's always decision making. And I think most of the time it comes down to weather, angles of sun, angles of wind that could be an effective moment for
Right.
you to go and score those first and most important points.
Well, Randy, you're also talking about the first point. I'm actually talking about a 7-point side switch. So I was thinking more of not the long game, because 7 points is not the long game, but the shorter version of that long game. So
to the 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I totally get that. But it's weird because game 3, maybe I'm with you, right? You're switching every combined 5 points. Go receive. Go receive. Get that ball back. Get to work.
And if I wanted to stretch your mind,
sorry, Zach Barnes says hello, Randy.
Oh, Zach, very good, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that I could stretch your mind even a little bit further in our conversation with that aspect of the choice on the flip with those 3 different choices. Now, when I put in that aspect of first to 5 is going to win 80% of the time, well,
Yeah, let's get 20% of that 5 in there.
Now, do you want to score that first point? Or do you want to go and give up that first point? So, there's a lot of things to be talked about and thought about moving forward in our sport and how that all plays out. And the more and more you're around that, I guess you're going to go and try to figure those things out. But certainly for me, I've even thought about, even in the future, about who wins. Literally at
they let anybody in this bunker, huh? I
this
mean,
is Jason's daughter coming in here. How
they
you doing today?
You get your VIP pass? Who let you in here?
So let's get back to the action.
Yes,
Here.
We got a game to go.
15
all right, get out of here, young lady.
Bergdahl goes back.
I'll sell all your toys. Come on. All right, good. Hey, we're in 3rd set. I'm trying to get my professionalism back. And speaking of that, a little bit of pinball action to open the 3rd set, Randy.
And it seems like they got the choice. They either went for the serve and the other team took the wrong side. But it seems like they took the side and then they wanted to receive. So the first point goes to the college team, but sure enough, Ruby goes and attacks from the left side.
Ruby seemed to like that drifter set a little bit better than the up and down, huh?
Well, you know what? She's a taller girl. She's got a lot of range. She looks like she's got long arms. She's a great blocker and easy put away for Ruby.
They go to Maddie, the Harris version of Maddie. They get a touch. She's got to go. Free ball opportunity. Bergdahl taking a drifter out of the middle and another dig. Who's going to blink? Looking for 2. Cochrane, no. Oh, there's a shot pass, and what a mess. What a hot mess. Who's going to clean it up? Looking for 2 again. And there she goes with the teardrop. Free ball opportunity. Option. Got it.
Well, I think Ruby got a little lucky with Maddie Bergdahl back there trying to play some defense that possibly was going out of bounds, but she played it and it went off, and point goes to Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles.
Michaeli, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rolles. Is to serve. 2-1, guys. 3rd set. All the way up. Wow. And there's a Shankalopoulos, that not extinct volleyball dinosaur.
Tough reception right there. She got to move her feet, got to get to her platform. Don't take that ball overhand, especially on a serve. That's just a mental error there. They go back to her. Now she passes the ball correctly.
A little bit more lift on that, as you would say. Opportunity to go to 4-1 for the switch. Not yet. Line over, free ball, and man, was she not ready for that balance-wise.
Ingrid Rolles was off balance, and she takes a swing like an overhead smash in tennis and puts that ball away, and now goes up 4-1.
Wow, just like that.
Driver's seat in it, just like that. All of a sudden, things go awry. Team of Maddie score the first point, and then all of a sudden give up the next 4.
Creating a little bit of a de facto timeout. A little stall tactic and turning around and taking the time you need. Left shoulder serve, okay. And we're looking for a replay here, or what just happened? Can someone tell me?
Well, I could almost say that possibly there was a foot fault that was called right there.
Well, that's why you're the best in the business.
I don't know.
Foot fault confirmed by my people in the truck.
Yeah, and it's a very, very difficult one to take right there when you're up 4-1. Now the game's 4-2.
Yeah.
Big point right here for Ruby, attacking from the left side. Goes up and over the block for the 5-2.
Very good elevation by Ruby Cochrane on that. Right? It's just what she needed.
And you know what that means.
Uh-oh.
That means that everybody's got to be involved in this game from now on, because they are an 80% chance to win this game, and my statistics come from all the stats that come in the NCAA women's beach volleyball and men's indoor for the women.
Yep, and
There's
80% is,
another.
and that ball's out of bounds, and now it's 6-2. And you're right, that percentage is very, very consistent with some of the smaller sample size the local colleges have been doing. LMU has done a study on that too.
As Harris and Bergdahl now call a timeout to stop the bleeding and stop this momentum. So when I get into the aspect of that 80% rule, the first 1 to 5, you got to be leading by 2. And if you are, the chances of you are winning 8 out of 10 games are in your favor. And it's an interesting stat because the game will seesaw back and forth, and you'll see possibly even Maddie and Maddie will come back from being down for so far right now. They'll come back, but for some reason, the game switches at the end and it goes to the team that got to 5 first. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, consistent statistic, chronologically and historically speaking. We're back on the court, and a much-needed timeout. Honestly, I think I get that timeout at 5, or maybe, honestly, when they scored the first 3 points, and it was 3-1, I go automatic timeout. I have this general rule because I, as a former player, used to always wait and say, "Hey, next play," and then sometimes, it's. I don't like to use the word too late, but that's the best way I know how to describe it to the audience.
And there is a timeout going on right now. So what you're looking at is some teams warming up in this 1 minute space that they have to go and try to get into a couple swings. But I like the thought process of Maddie Harris and Maddie Bergdahl kind of getting out here. In fact, really, they should be standing on the court going and beckoning the youngsters to get back on, because put pressure on the younger players just by your ability to show that you're there and you're not laying down, even though that they're down. Score right now
is 6-2. Our thing is backwards on our YouTube video, so our audience is always going to have it right, but we're reading a mirror image of everything that's happening on one of the monitors. We have another monitor here that's keeping us healthy. Left shoulder serve. Oh, out of bounds. What's the most important serve, Randy?
Well, after the timeout, get the ball in the court, and there was a big time. That's why you do call the timeout, to create the momentum to switch. And now all of a sudden it's a 6-3 game. 3-6.
Wow, there's a serve that we knew was going to hit.
And now there's all of a sudden 4-6.
Sorry, I predetermined that. I called the ace and didn't realize she actually had a touch at that. So at least to their credit, they touched it. I thought that was going to be clean.
Ruby's been actually passing that ball extremely well, and there's a side switch at 4-6.
And I like the strategy, Randy. Ruby's been running really, really good back sets throughout this match and throughout the tournament. And the best way to get rid of the back set is to work position forward, left shoulder, hard as you can.
And let's see if they go back to the well. And they kind of do, but it not really goes out wide. And again, pet peeve of mine, when you side switch, get that ball in the court.
Yes.
Get that ball in the court. Just gave them up an easy
one. I agree. It is not your function to decide for the other team how to side out, how to get the ball back. Set out of the middle, and there's a one-arm bandit. Wow. I formation, if you will, Randy.
Yeah, Ingrid Rolles got lucky and shot that ball in second, and the girls couldn't handle that ball on the other side. Now all of a sudden up by 8-4 to kind of commanding lead right now. Really a great comeback by the younger girls of Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles, losing the first game, coming back and winning this tight second, and now leading.
It's time to go to Bergdahl.
And there's a great lead.
Looking for 9. Rolles. Not yet. Maddie got it. 5-8. Very, very important side out as far as momentum, because the wave was getting a little bit bigger, Randy. That momentum wave was building a lot of momentum and getting really, really big. So you got to get this much needed side out. Harris to serve. She's outside, and I talk about the legality of that later. There's the drifter set, and that's where I think Cochrane is more productive. This time she gets dug. Looking for 6. Wow. Sometimes you just got to go for it.
Great swing, one of the better ones of the whole game match for Maddie Bergdahl putting that ball down and hitting the coffin corner with some authority.
I actually thought at some point, the shorts were going to come off. When it gets hot, these two, they lose the white shorts. They got the classic bikini. Maybe they're more comfortable in their own skin. Up and down set. Shot out of the middle, and there's your J hook, and there's your switch. 9-6.
9-6, which a great Ruby doesn't see that. Now she does. 9-6 switch. Great swing by Ruby when the ball's off the net. For anybody who plays this game, swing at the ball. Put the ball on your opponent. It comes onto them quicker. They can't make that play, and sure enough, they didn't. Point goes to the team of Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles. Now up 9-6.
Cochrane to serve. Cochrane to serve. Expect you to go, yes, right to her. Maddie, up and down set. Maddie, we got a line hopper. And now the lead is cut to 2.
And I love that aspect of Maddie Harris attacking with authority. Could have easily gotten blocked, but a good point now to get back within 2.
Bergdahl to serve. Okay pass. Drifter set. Cochrane. Wow. Sometimes the top of the tape is just what you need for that ball to sail out of bounds. And now the lead is cut to 1. Open. And a bit of a momentum switch, Randy.
Very much so. Open net. You know what is going through her mind right now, as they probably are going to go back to Ruby down the line, as they do.
And there's the back set. High percentage shot for Cochrane. And now you see why. She can scan the entire court. She can see the block, Randy. She can see the dig. In fact, I think she even saw us two sitting here talking about it.
Let me tell you about the set. The set was just absolutely butter. Back set to the right side. Partner Ruby.
Did you say butter? Not parquet? No margarine? That ball's out of bounds and kind of a reckless swing.
Yeah,
not thought out.
Yeah, she got behind the ball and she kind of overran it and got behind her as she tried to take another swing at that same location and misses that time.
Oh, there's a much needed line hopper for the 11-9 switch. And you know what? In the game of inches, that's just enough to hang in there. You know, this a 12-8 would have been more problematic. I know I'm speaking numerically here.
No, you're exactly right, because remember, if you go to my 80% rule, that team on the far side has 20% chance to win. And any of those plays are so important for the aspect of them coming back and winning this game.
Serve out of the middle. Oh, the hubby wife. Well, not really, right? The hubby wife is when it lands clean, right?
Great serve. Exactly the serve that you wanted at the right time. And like I said, it's a game of momentum.
What do you think?
Points are scored in bunches.
You think they go back? What do you think, Randy?
Well, down to what is
Be
it?
my Mystic Mac. It's 10-11.
10-11. Of course,
you just got an ace.
I think that it's at a beautiful serve. I'd serve the right sider. I wouldn't actually go to the left sider right here. I'd go to the right sider to the middle of the court. Let's see if she does. No, it goes to Ruby. Wow. Ruby passes the ball. Here's a free ball.
Man, and that was a botched opportunity to tie the game. And I think they're probably going to make him pay on this one. Yep. There's the drop shot by Rolles, Ingrid Rolles. 12-11. Could have had 6 on the board for that. It was the serve they needed, right? They got the free ball. They got their opportunity. They have to use it.
What's the score right now? 12-10?
The score is 12-10.
10, yes. Ruby back to serve.
This time they go middle, creating her string out of the middle. Wow. Trying to go too much into the well on the line. Into the tape goes Maddie Harris.
Harris made a bit of a mistake right there, especially against the shorter blocker, trying to do too much for their team, and now they're down in a hold by 3. 13-10.
This is a contenders bracket match, guys. This is win or go home. They switched sides, and they went after Maddie on that side. Wow, a little mousetrap, if you would. They switched sides, and instead of serving the zone, they went after the player, and the player made him pay. The serve was less effective, right? The pass was better because the serve was less effective, and with a better pass, she became a better offensive version of herself. And now the score is 11-13. One away from the switch. J-hook pass. Set to close to the pin, and that's such a great touch, but not enough.
Nice pass, nice set. Big point. Now up for point match.
Yep. 14-11. I mean, honestly, I would just probably keep Maddie Harris on the right side, and they're doing that. Yep. It's an isolation play because they're forcing her to go after her. Now watch the serve. Not as competitive. Better pass, better set, sees more of the court, and as a result, becomes a better offensive version of herself. Excuse me, Randy.
Now here's another opportunity for Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles to finish off the match.
Perfect pass. Looking for the match. Cochrane, wow, waffles it out of bounds.
Feeling her oats and just missing it just by a little bit. Don't you think that this next one is going to be something that they think about right now? And unfortunately, in this game of volleyball, you don't want to think. She's got to tighten it up, pass the ball, get the good set, and come hard at the ball. Point game again. Match.
13-14. This time they go a little shorter. Similar pass, similar play. Wow, right into our living room, right down the middle go the youngsters in emphatic fashion. Cochrane with the finish. Winners 2-1. 15-13 third set. Moving on are the youngsters, and going home are the other youngsters. Very good game, Randy.
Congratulations to Ruby Cochrane and Ingrid Rolles on moving into the contenders bracket. The youngsters over the college players. Really fun to go and watch this game, and learning experiences as we go. And for especially for these younger players, every one of these games, every one of these points, everything means so much that it's such an exciting time in their lives. Moving on and getting the opportunity to do it again.
All right, let's do a little bonus coverage here.
And by the by the way, the 80% rule worked again.
Yeah, there it is. 12-14 over here. It's the first set. I believe it's Gage Bashi and Hillman. On the other side, you have the great, incomparable John Mesko playing with J.D. Hamilton, probably the most beloved volleyball player in like every community. Let's watch a couple of plays in this, and we'll be all right. There's the jump set. There's the patience.
Yeah, better shot like that. Jump sets sometimes can be an advantage when you get the one-on-one, but there has to be the right spacing to make that all happen. And a lot of times it can be off balance where it really makes it a difficult swing.
Yep, I agree. So back to the bunker. Randy, we talked about the future of volleyball. We talked about the present of volleyball, and both are looking very bright. You know, we just had a gold medal winner with Alex Kleiman and April Ross. The women's indoor team did their thing, you know. Karch Karai, the robot feels on the post-match interview. And it looks like, at least for the women's side, it's more of the same.
You know,
you looked at Hamburg, right? We had a team finish second.
Yeah. You know, it's really kind of scary to go and think that there are so many different teams with so many different looks around the world that everybody's trying to create the game to be something a little different. It all comes down to the fundamentals, the pass, set, hit. But when you get to past those fundamentals, you want to go and try to be something a little different. You want to try to beat the block. For me right now, I think the ultimate move as far as a blocker right now is a swing block. I think that's going to come into the beach game. I think people are working on it right now because the option is too effective right now. The ball goes up on two. The person either it has nobody with them and they put that ball away, or they jump set that ball out to the side. And you can't shuffle your feet quick enough to be an effective blocker.
Yeah, and I think for the men's side, we've already seen the adjustments. Like a lot of the European teams, these guys live in the video room like hermits, and I knew it was a copycat league, and I knew they'd find a way to copy it and also be able to combat it. Like if you look at Maul and Sorum, Andres Maul is already swing blocking. Sharif and Ahmed, we watch Sharif. We have a great sample size of watching Sharif play, and I don't think it's that much of I don't think that's difficult training for him to go to a swing block. He's such a great super athlete.
And a big player with long arms, and that's what's needed to go and be a great swing blocker. But again, there's a lot of aspects to that swing blocking that has to be choreographed, because you're not just going out to one area. You're either going to take that line or you're going to take that angle that's either shortening up your approach to swing block or getting all the way out to the pin. So we'll see how that develops in the future. Again, the game has always been changing from the big game first days that I played the game, in regards to, pass, set, hit, and back in the day they would never option on two. That would never even be a choice. But
Yeah, but that first hit is still paramount from old school to new school, right?
yeah,
You don't take care of first hit. It's all for naught. There is no option, and I think you're going to see more people take chances at the service line to combat that option.
yeah. And as the whole process of this evolution of beach volleyball goes, back in the day, there was no blocking over. There was an aspect of being a great defender with Ron Lang and Ron Von Hagen back for the Americans. That they would sit back and dig, and balls that were just drilled. And I remember then coming in as a teenager playing against Jim Mingus and Matt Gage. Those guys were like backboards. They couldn't put a ball. I couldn't put a ball away. And when all of a sudden you felt like you can't put a ball away with nobody up, it puts an awful feeling into you. But as the game again has progressed, I remember a whole lot of times with Sinjin, us playing and his ability not to put the ball away. I said, just pop that ball up a little higher. Let me take a swing. And I got my shots in there.
It's cool. Hey, one of our comment sections is, what do you guys think about what Ken Steffes has been posting on his Facebook page about the future of the AVP? I guess I'll go first on this one. I like that it's grounded. I like that it's self-honest. And some people might find the criticism a little harsh, but I think in order for everyone to come to the middle, maybe it has to start from a place where Ken Steffes is at, so everyone can come to the middle and have this conversation.
Well, for the most part, I think he's generalizing in the aspect of what could and what could not happen with the AVP. Everybody has their thoughts about, how to make more money and make it more profitable for the players. But unfortunately, there's really never been any specific answers to it. It's very vague. It's always what has happened, as we've seen the tour in the 80s and the 90s become really one of the biggest in the sport, and ultimately getting it into the Olympic Games, and ultimately making 200 countries play the sport around the world. So I don't think that there's any one way that they're being successful, especially in Europe right now. All of the international tournaments they're packed crowds, they're full, there's good prize money, the sponsorship is there for them. And unfortunately, USA Volleyball has not really, for myself, taken a grasp of bringing our sport, back to America, because we don't have any international events. It's really a kind of a sad thing that I see, that we as Americans have to go abroad to try to qualify for the Olympic Games. Why don't we have a qualification process in America? It would be the biggest event in America if you had a trials prior to the Olympic Games.
That would be, I think that's very, very well said. And I
And
think,
could you imagine how much money you would make off of something like that? NBC grabs it. Everybody's going to grab it.
everyone's going to want a piece.
Of course.
But I also think, and we'll finish on this, we're in our match off after this. Because you and I, we can't be sitting in one spot forever. We got to keep moving, man. It's just how we roll.
Right.
I think in order for there to be solutions, you can't keep enlisting the same people who might be part of the problem. Now, I'm speaking generally too, right? I can't name names. I'm not on the inside, but I can only tell you that if you don't learn from your history, it's doomed to repeat itself, right? So very much like a politician getting elected saying that they're going to clean it out, and then nominating the same people who got us into that mess to clean it out, is very much like asking a junkie to guard a drugstore.
Jason, you're opening up a can of worms, and you're exactly right. That's my same sentiments, my same feelings. You would like to have some fresh thoughts, and I think that there are things in the works. I've heard, and again, I don't have any confirmations, because there's all these different people speaking about the sport and coming up with their ideas. But I've gotten names about new investors, new people that want to be involved with the sport, could take it a different direction. It's how now the owners of the AVP are going to split that up. But more importantly, outside of the professional league of the AVP, I would like to see USA Volleyball get involved. It's so easy for them, but for some reason they're going, I think, to their bread and butter, if I could say, in the indoor program, and putting a lot of emphasis on making a dollar throughout the youngsters that are coming up.
Well, that's where the cash cows are.
Thousands, exactly, and it's understandable. But let's remember one thing: we've won a lot of gold medals. Misty May, Carrie Walsh put it on the map for all those youngsters. Their involvement with the sport needs
we
to
had
be
all
there.
women's, right? We had an all women's USA finals with April Ross and Kessie. You know, right?
And we did originally for the men too, with Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh against Karch and Kent Steffes
and Henkel and St. John.
Yeah.
we're in the final 8, so and you're right.
And that was a whole different story that we could talk about in future episodes. But you know, we're still number 1 in the world, I feel.
Well, for women, yeah.
Well, for women, and you'll be surprised when we get down to it in Paris come 2024. Don't put anything past Andy Benish and Miles Partain, my hometown favorite.
Yeah,
Miles, as I text him and tune into him each and every time and giving him my love, that he's doing some fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Well, guys, on that note, before we get ourselves in real trouble here, we're off one game, then we're back at 1:00 to get Katie Piles and Carly Wopat. They're going to have an absolutely gnarly winners bracket match, and we're going to be here for that. And for those of you that have been looking forward to some of the men's matches, that's going to happen later on in the afternoon, about 3:00. 3:00 Pacific time, maybe, give or take. But for now, I like your let's go, but I'm gonna bring us home. For Randy Stokely, I'm Jason DeBeers. For now, we're out. I want to hear the let's go. Come on.
Let's go.